Hi everybody, this is a short story today, really short one, in case you're a bit busy but you still want to get in your little story fix like I always do. I love a story. Right, the straw, the coal and the bean, this is called. So let's see what this one's all about, shall we? In a village dwelt a poor old woman who had gathered together a dish of beans and wanted to cook them. So she made a fire on her hearth, and so that it might burn quicker, she lighted it with a handful of straw. When she was emptying the beans into the pan, one dropped without her observing it, and it lay on the ground beside the straw. And soon afterwards, the burning coal from the fire leapt down to the two. Then the straw began and said, "Dear friends, from where do you come here?" The coal replied, "I fortunately sprang out of the fire, and if I had not escaped my main force, my death would have been certain. I should have been burnt to ashes." The bean said, "I too have escaped with my whole skin, but if the old woman had got me in the pan, I should have been made into broth without any mercy, like my comrades." "And I would a better fate have fallen to my lot," said the straw. "The old woman has destroyed all of my brethren in the fire and smoke. She seized 60 of them all at once and took their lives. I luckily slipped through her fingers." "But what are we to do now?" said the coal. "I think," answered the bean, "that as we have so fortunately escaped death, we should keep together like good companions, and lest a new misfortune should overtake us here, we should go far away together to a foreign country." The proposition pleased the two others, and they set out on their way in company. Soon, however, they came to a little brook, and as there was no bridge or footplank, they did not know how they were to get over it. So the straw hit on a good idea, and he said, "I'll lay myself straight across, and then you can walk over on me like I'm a bridge." The straw therefore stretched itself out from one bank to the other, and the coal, who was of an impetuous disposition, tripped quite boldly onto the newly built bridge. But when she'd reached the middle and heard the water rushing beneath her, she was, after all, afraid, and stood still and ventured no further. The straw, however, began to burn. It's a hot coal, and broke in two pieces and fell into the stream. The coal slipped after her, hissed when she got to the water, and breathed her last. The bean, who had prudently stayed behind on the shore, could not but laugh at the event and was unable to stop, and she laughed so heartily that she burst. It would have been all over for her likewise if, by good fortune, a tailor who was travelling in search of work had not sat down to rest by the brook. As he had a compassionate heart, he pulled out his needle and thread, and he sewed her back together. The bean thanked him most prettily, but as the tailor used black thread, all beans since then have had a black seam. I don't know if you've ever seen any beans, but they do have a bit of a black seam. So perhaps that's how it started, with the bean who was laughing till she burst. Anyway, that was a short story. And I want to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody who's been listening. You can get your grown-ups to send a message to me so that I can give you a shout out in the next story. Until then, bye.